When someone searches alternatives to your brand name, where do they land? Where do they find themselves? So I started today's session. I was going to do a teardown on digitalocean.com because it's a really great example of using jargon successfully for your audience. But I then looked up alternatives to DigitalOcean to see what other people who are in the same space were doing. Were they also using jargon on their sites? So I searched alternatives to DigitalOcean and get these a bunch of sponsored. So people are paying to have you click on some of these. Vulture, Linode, I think I'm saying that right, Wasabi, Canadian Cloud Servers. Then there's Reddit, of course, and then we go on from there. So I opened up the top ones in new tabs. When you search something like alternatives to a brand, there's a lot going on there. Frustration from existing users, existing customers, or if I'm price shopping, I'm looking for something to share with my boss who asked me to go look into these solutions. I've searched alternatives to DigitalOcean, and these are the pages, the landing pages for these ads. Linode is actually Akamai Cloud. I'm not the target audience there, so I don't know how to say that. If the I is pronounced, increase your productivity and reduce costs. No comparison whatsoever to DigitalOcean. Vulture, we land on promo/web hosting. So there's a free credit here and it's web hosting, and also no reference to DigitalOcean. Wasabi, same thing. It's pricing and no reference to DigitalOcean. Now, one of the reasons that a lot of people avoid, a lot of brands think, oh, we shouldn't do a direct comparison to our competitor, is they think that that will get them in trouble somehow. However, the people you will get in trouble with are, in most cases, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. And what do? They encourage competitive or comparative advertising. I'm going to read it just like you are, including naming and referencing competitors as long as the statements are truthful and not misleading, which you can pull from a website like DigitalOcean's website and link out to it if you would like to, and make sure you're mice typing so that people know where that came from. You can, on each of these pages, say, alternatives to or alternative to DigitalOcean, just as a little eyebrow copy above the headline. It doesn't have to take up a lot of space. It can be piped in dynamically. This does not have to be complicated, but nobody is doing it across the board. Nobody is doing it. Now, there is another opportunity here, not just for these alternatives to pages to be improved even a little, but for DigitalOcean to own that as well. So you should search your brand name, alternatives to. You search alternatives to Copyhackers, we have a pretty simple page that's there for people who are looking for alternatives to Copyhackers. This is not fancy, and it's a bit of a humble brag page. It's there to tell you, hey, look, this is what we do. If that's not right for you because you're more creative, you're on a team that doesn't use voice of customer data and won't, or you found that copy school when you tried it was too big, too detailed, too hard, then here are some competitors that we'll share with you. Also, maybe the best alternative to Copyhackers is Copy School Professional if you're looking for feedback and haven't got that before. Some brand names that our competitors can't say. And then we get into our competitors. This is not a giant page. This did not take a lot of work. But if somebody searches alternatives to Copyhackers, they're going to find it. It's easy enough to come up with this. It doesn't take long, and it can be a way to get people who were thinking of switching from you to further realize that no, they should stay with you. Now, one of the challenges is, well, Joe, I don't know what to put on that page. Why are people switching from us, or why are they considering alternatives to us? If only Reddit existed to tell us these things. So if I work at DigitalOcean and I'm going to write a page for alternatives to DigitalOcean, which is the opportunity, and it's going to be maybe a bit of a humble brag page, but going to help me keep people who are thinking of leaving me. We're looking for alternatives for a reason. Reddit can tell us what that reason is. Looking for experiential alternatives to DigitalOcean, and then they name the alternatives that they know of because I'm tired of getting burned. Now, if I'm DigitalOcean, I can come in here and go like, okay, let's just go through this and take what we're seeing and turn it into a page where we can really just combat a lot of this, including the conversation that is held below. Really get ahead of this. If I'm an alternative to DigitalOcean, then I can say, hey, Tired of getting burned by DigitalOcean? I can try that. I can go there, then I can talk to legal, see if that's allowed. But nonetheless, I can start by going through this, where people are sharing this with us. Sometimes it is hard to get your hands on voice of customer data. Sometimes it is easy. This is one of those it is easy times. If you are competing with somebody or someone is competing with you, there's an alternatives to opportunity or a is blank worth it opportunity. All of those will bring up landing pages that people are paying for, that you as a brand should own, and that Reddit is probably having a conversation about.